First foul of this half against the Zags.
That's a difficult place for Rob Jones to try to make the plays. He just put it down hard, went to the basket, but then didn't try to make the move offensively.
Dellavedova, tough shot, tip up, no good. Second tip is good from Waldo.
Waldo, 9 points in this game and playing with great emotion.
Quick three, and Pangos, what an answer.
So important to the Zags offense is that freshman, Kevin Pangos.
Well, that felt like a big shot. 6-point lead for the Gales with the ball. Down low, Waldo, another reverse move right by Sam Dower.
Sam Dower's got to do a better job moving his feet, cutting off baseline. Waldo not the quickest of moves.
Now a foul is going to go against Waldo. A hand check. Dower put the ball on the floor.
Waldo making an impact on this errant shot. One shot attempt. He goes back up, keeps the ball active, volleyballing it against the rim, and then this time on the catch, just a sweeping move to the baseline, and a poor defensive rotation that time. Dower's got to cut off the angle.
Waldo, he's one of those freshmen. He's not a spectacular athlete. He just has a knack for getting the ball in the basket. His second foul. He does have 11 points as Gonzaga inbounds. Pangos calls out some instructions. A little confusion on the offensive end for the Zags. Harris, three was way off the mark. Jones still scoreless in this game. And yet the Gales have the 8-point advantage. Dower, outlet to Pangos, trying to go end-to-end. Kevin Pangos, Dellavedova backed up, and Pangos scored.
So quick in the open floor. As soon as he got those hands on the ball, he had his head up. He knew he had a lane. Went right through it.
Well, Pangos keeping the Zags in this game right now.
Robert Sacre at the table will be checking in at the next dead ball.
Haven't had many dead balls. Been end-to-end action in the second half. Shot clock at 6. Holt scores off the glass. Pangos with the crossover, the pass fake, threw up an air ball. And maybe numbers for the Gales. Steindl, three! Timeout, Gonzaga.
Steindl has been banged up. He's been bruised. He has not played well. He has not shot the ball well. But tonight, that's his second three-pointer of the game. It's an 11-point lead for the Gales here in Moraga.
Gales on a run. They have their biggest lead of the night. 11 is the advantage for St. Mary's. 48-37 against the 23rd ranked team in the country, Gonzaga. Gonzaga's dominated the series history between these two great rivals in the WCC, but St. Mary's lately has played them toe-to-toe, and we're seeing another example of that here tonight.
Well, it's also important to note that St. Mary's hasn't beat a ranked team in their last 5 attempts. And Gonzaga ranked 23rd in the country. An opportunity to win at home, and it's so key to take care of your home court. And you mentioned the rivalry. You know, I think for a long time Gonzaga elevated St. Mary's to another level, and now they're kind of at that point where when they play each other, you get the very best out of both teams.
St. Mary's may well now be elevating the Zags themselves a little bit. St. Mary's playing well here tonight. David Stockton off the bench, trying to help the Zags find some offensive rhythm. And Kevin Pangos and not much else. Bell passed up an open shot. Well, it took a much tougher shot.
A poor decision that time by Bell. It was a great feed by David Stockton. I just don't think he had his feet set underneath him. He wasn't ready, expecting the pass. It was a much easier look than the one that he ended up taking.
Here's Holt. Scored over the defense.
He continues to be able to drive right and shoot that shot with soft touch off the glass.
13-point lead. Sacre. Steinel, good help, but a foul call. So Sacre will go to the free throw line to try to end this run. The Gales have opened up a 13-point advantage here at home against the 23rd ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs. St. Mary's has the 13-point lead against the Gonzaga Bulldogs, the longtime power from this West Coast Conference. And we'll take a look at how Gonzaga built their program, brought to you by Sears. Certainly the Zags had basketball success before Mark Few became the head coach, but in Coach Few's 13 seasons, unprecedented success for the Bulldogs.
Well, you see the winning percentage, second best in the entire country of active coaches, right behind Roy Williams, and then has never won less than 20 games in a single season. They're seeking their 12th straight WCC title. Just a picture of consistency, and I think the play of Gonzaga has elevated this conference overall. It's made other programs make a stronger commitment to their basketball programs, like St. Mary's. And when Randy Bennett came along here, it's elevated the Gales now as they strive to be at the level in which Mark Few has had the Zags at for so long.
Well, you saw that look of concern on Coach Few's face. Sacre does make one of two. Now a little full court pressure for the Bulldogs for the first time in this game.
And part of the reason is that they're trying to turn them over. Only 4 turnovers in this game so far for St. Mary's. They've been very efficient with the basketball.
Under the basket, Holt traveled. So a chance for an easy look for St. Mary's, but the turnover.
Well, that's the 5th now on the game. I'm looking at these numbers, though. Only 2 fast break points for Gonzaga in this game. They get so much of their offense out in transition, but it's difficult to get out in transition when your opponent is shooting 51% from the floor. And that's what the Gales have been able to do.
Here's David Stockton against Dellavedova, trying to feed the post. It was cut off, though. Mangos over the top. Good catch by Sacre. Rejected, though, by Mitchell Young.
Well, Robert's just not elevating the way that we've seen him elevate in the past. You see Robert gather himself and go straight to the rim.
He is a very good player who's suffering a crisis of confidence at the moment. Just not playing at the same level we've seen from Sacre for 2+ seasons now. Holt finds Jones open. He passed up the 3. Shovel pass and a foul.
And Robert Sacre, and you watch him set the screen as he rolls underneath. No one's really with him. He gathers himself, but really doesn't elevate. And Robert's a better athlete than that. He's able to get on up, and you see the frustration on his face as he's not finishing strong around the rim.
Mitchell Young, 2 free throws for the Gales.
What's the first? When you go back with Robert, the thumb injury, I think, really hurt him in so many different ways, just confidence-wise of catching the ball and being able to finish. This is the first game he's not worn any tape on his thumb that he injured right before the Air Force game, and his numbers have slid since then. And Mark Few talked to me about it earlier today, saying, look, Robert's going to be fine. He's going to get back to where he needs to be, but this team has been playing some of its best basketball, even with Robert struggling a little bit at the offensive end of the floor.
Backdoor play and a good play by the Zags. A foul on St. Mary's. Then a little contact after the play. The official rushes in to make sure Mitchell Young and Gary Bell don't get anything started.
No extracurriculars like we saw at halftime from Arizona and Oregon State, as Andy Katz was back in studio talking about that. You see the elbow coming up a little high by Mitchell Young. Both players very simply just walking away from one another.
So no escalation there at all. Foul was against St. Mary's, so Gonzaga ball. Hang goes the inbounder. Elias Harris is really playing well. He's gone quiet and cold from the field. Sacre draws another foul.
A much more aggressive move from Robert Sacre. And you see him catch the ball. Look at the way he's battling down low on the block. Turns and faces, goes right into the contract, and tries to make his move. That's a better and more aggressive move, and those are the type of moves that has got Robert to the line where he's really one of the best free throw shooting bigs in the country. There's a lot of times you look at a center and you think, okay, I got to take him out in late game situation. Robert Sacre is not one of those guys, but he has not made a field goal attempt so far tonight. There's different ways to score, though. There's different ways to put pressure, and Robert just did that on that possession.
He made 1 of 2 for the second straight trip, so even his confidence at the free throw line, which has been his bread and butter, has waned. Dellavedova. Young with a little baby hook shot.
The on-ball screen once again opens up the offensive looks for St. Mary's.
And goes to Harris, and Harris reverses it in with a foul.
Elias Harris, a much-needed basket for Gonzaga. A little on-ball screen action of their own, rolling towards the rim, and so many times you see the on-ball screen. It's one of the most difficult plays to defend because you have to communicate defensively well. You have to make sure that you switch. And in that instance, Mitchell Young was a little bit slow in his defensive rotation back. And I think that's what Randy Bennett's talking to him as he goes to the bench right now. And it's the same thing for Gonzaga. The question is, how do you defend that action better? You talk defensively. You literally push your guy through. You hard hedge and you recover.
Gonzaga's missing a bunch of free throws now. Another opportunity for a three-point play. Sacre with the help defense. Jones. A good touch pass from Holt to get to Steindl. There's Waldo with a whistle and a foul.
It's been that kind of night for St. Mary's, where even their looks in their offensive possession, where Clint Steindl throws up a shot, it's an air ball. Waldo's able to get his hands on it and able to draw the foul to get him to the free throw line.
Brad Waldo, just a freshman from a tiny town, Shingle Springs in California.
About his growth and development as a big in this year. I mean, the confidence of this young man is growing each and every game. He was 4 of 6 from the field against San Francisco. He's now got 12 points here in his first taste of a rivalry game in the WCC.
Brick that one, but Waldo seems to play his best against their best opponents. Here's Pango, so quick. Sacre with the follow.
There's Robert Sacre. That's what we're used to seeing. Running the floor, having his hands ready, and finishing.
And a missed free throw led to a fast break. Rob Jones looking down low. Gets it to Waldo. Tries a pass to Holt, and he'll go to the free throw line.
The Zags trail by 11. Robert Sacre finally gets his first field goal of the game. Elias Harris underneath, moving well, but they need a lot more plays like this. Open floor transition bucket, so key for the Zags. Keep very upset with maybe some of the non-calls at the end of that game and the goaltending by DeAndre Jordan, but make your free throws and you win the game. LeBron James just barely over 50% from the free throw line in that contest, and the same can be said right now for Gonzaga. Just 5 of 11 at the free throw line. You've got to make the most of your opportunities when you get there.
And the Zags are missing free throws like the Heat did, and they're facing a point guard, Matthew Dellavedova, who's playing at such a high level. Some Chris Paul similarities, not that same kind of player, but Matthew Dellavedova sure has dominated this game tonight for the Gales.
Remember, he has 12 assists, just 1 turnover against BYU. So far, just 1 turnover against Gonzaga. So efficient with the basketball, and when your lead point guard is taking care of the ball, you put yourself in a position to be successful.
Jones was left open. Waldo got another hand on the ball, but the Karam to Pangos on the move. Freshman gives it up to David Stockton. Nice pass. Harris dunks it home.
Great movement offensively, and right now, if you're Gonzaga and you're looking at this 11-point deficit with 11 minutes left to go, I want Pangos and I want Harris becoming the most aggressive players on the floor each and every possession. The zone defense here against the Gales.
Dellavedova, quick release 3, no good. And here comes Gonzaga. Stockton pushes it up, and he gets fouled by Stephen Holt.
David Stockton drawing the foul there. Stockton a minute ago setting up his teammate underneath. Making the defense shift. Poor communication on the back line. That was Waldo, who should have had better awareness of where Elias Harris was.